Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I want to talk about why I didn't go concierge or DPC and why that's not necessarily a huge deal. You can still be successful going that route or the one that I'm going. All right, for those of you guys who don't know, I'm Brad. I started my own private practice. I now have 3 locations, over 20,000 patients, and 7 providers working with me. All right, DPC, concierge. Yes, they're not the same thing. Why did I not go down that road so far? Well, let's take a step back, all right? I really like a talk by Jeff Bezos that says, instead of going towards where do we think the future is going to be headed with any industry, what are customers or patients gonna want? What are the things that are not gonna change in the future? All right, let's think about that. What are things that are not gonna change in the future? People want great service. They want service at their convenience that's gonna be convenient for them. And they're gonna wanna feel like they got a bargain. They're gonna wanna feel like they got a good deal with whatever money they spent on it. The other thing that I think people will want in that convenience is that convenience instead of 8 to 5 is gonna shift to on their demand. Those things are not gonna change. Customers and patients are always gonna want those things. So knowing that, how can I lean into that and say, how can I meet patients where they're at in their demands that they're not telling me, but I know they want, because I'm sometimes a customer, I'm a patient of other medical practices, and I get frustrated when I fill out a freaking paper form and then they make me refill it out again, all online in their own EMR. I hate doing double the work. These things are not going to change. So what does this have to do with me not wanting to go concierge or DPC? Well, in order for me to scale and grow the business, keep in mind, I want to grow this business. I want to grow the brand. I don't want people to come to, oh, I'm gonna go see Dr. Brad. I want them to come to Investing Doc Primary Care. That way, I can take a vacation. I can take a day off. I love chatting with you guys on the private practice forum, but I don't wanna be that doc who's sitting there posting every year, how are you guys finding coverage for your DPC or solo practices? I want to take a vacation. No, I wanna take a vacation and I wanna make money while I'm on vacation. Let's be real. Much like I invest in a 401k and my index funds, me growing this business is a huge investment in myself and the future that I want for my business. And you're damn right I want to pay off eventually. All right, so knowing that, I can give the great customer service, either going DPC or concierge, and giving out my cell phone and being available and at their beck and call almost 24/7 to give them that style of customer service that they deeply want and need. And I could charge a premium for that, but I'm always on call. And if I'm not on call, then I have to find someone to cover me. And what if they work in the same clinic? Or what if they work in the same city as me? Are they gonna steal some of my patients? Not inherently, but what if they like them more and then I lose some patients to them? It's so hard to build a brand when someone is paying to see that physician, that provider. That's really hard to build a huge brand and make money while you're on vacation. I'll tell you guys exactly what my business plan is. There's no secret to it. I want amazing customer experience and I want to give the patients exactly what they want. So with that, we plan on growing in a normal style. We're going to get big enough to where we've already gotten big enough and argued with some insurance companies. We're about to argue with United Healthcare and the other ones that previously haven't argued for better pay rates for us. So it sucked in the beginning, taking terrible below Medicare rates. But eventually we're getting big enough to where we're arguing and that's whittling away at that. And then we're gonna get big enough to now we have 3 locations. Guess what? This entire week, our main office was completely booked. No availability for same day. Now we just put patients on their schedule and we captured those visits instead of them going to urgent care. So where's the business gonna keep growing? Well, we're gonna grow like crazy, get as many members as we can, as many patients as we can. We're gonna give them the best customer experience we can without raising $300 million like one of our competitors in town did. And then we're gonna start adding on those additional services, after hours, weekends, maybe even Saturdays and Sundays, not just Saturdays. Then eventually get into the overnight hours and have someone on call for those urgent things. And while we're doing that, once we get enough patients and we hit critical mass, look at any industry where you separate into a paid tier and a non-paid tier. Once we get big enough, let's say we have 40, 50,000 patients, now it makes sense if we add on a premium subscription, maybe like One Medical, maybe more expensive, that a lot of those 50,000 patients, they're not gonna sign up for it, and that's fine. They can just come in and get their annual physical. But eventually, some of those people are gonna be like, you know what? Yeah, I'll pay $500 a year so I can get in faster or so that I can see my doc and do my annual on a Saturday instead of a Sunday. and other benefits that come along with that extra fee. In my opinion, I think that we're headed towards a two-tiered model. It is so hard to find a primary care. In the city that I'm in here in Texas, our competitors are booked up 4 months in the future. You want to see a primary care, you either got to go to urgent care, you got to wait 4 months, or come to my clinic, the new ones that we opened. In my opinion, with Medicare cuts and everything else, I think we're approaching a two-tiered model for primary care. And I plan on capturing that by growing as big as I can and then setting up the two-tiered model. If I did it in reverse and I set up the two-tiered model where I was DPC or concierge in the beginning, I can't grow that fast. I'm growing extremely slow. And now when I want to go and maybe try to hyperscale that growth, it's so hard to hyperscale it when you're only starting with 1,000 patients. Right now we have, we'll call it 21,000 patients today at the time of making this video. It's so much easier for me to email out and say, hey, we're adding on this premium service. You want weekends, you want after hours, you want all this other stuff for free included that is not reimbursable currently in our current contracts. Hey, you're gonna pay $200 or $500 a year. And out of those 21,000, I bet if we did it today, I bet I'd at least get 500 people to sign up. But I don't want 500 people. I want a heck of a lot more than that. Look at like when Amazon Prime came out, Amazon was already up and running for years, and then they created Prime. They got people on board to love them, and then they brought on Prime. You have to listen to your customers, you have to listen to your patients, but at the same time, they're not gonna tell you the business model that's gonna work for what you wanna grow. If you want to be a DPC and a concierge physician, there's nothing wrong with that. I have no hate for you guys out there. It's just not what is going to work for me and my scaling. Again, I wanna be able to take a month-long vacation 2 or 3 years from now and make money while I'm on vacation and not worry about call, because you know what? I got so many employees that they're gonna cover my call. We're on the path to get there. And there's no secret about how to be successful. Available, likable, great care, and it will grow, especially in medicine. All right, guys, now y'all know my secret sauce and the plan for the future. What do y'all think? How are y'all planning on growing and hyperscaling? My goal in my mind is once we hit 50,000 patients, I'm gonna flip it. What do y'all think about that number? Too outrageous? Not big enough? What would you do differently? Leave a comment below. I'll see you guys next week. Have a good one. See you later.